This is Thursday, January 1st, 2015. Thursday in Farsi is Panshanbe. That's our word of the day. It's a little after 7 in the morning. This could have been very much like a little room in any house in the part of Iran where my parents grew up in around wintertime. And as you can see, there's a kursi set up. Kursi is this little table that they camped some sort of charcoal underneath there, below a table, and they'd cover it with that blanket, and they would sit around, chat, keep warm, have tea. And when I asked my mom, it must have been sometime in my mid-20s, late 20s. When I asked her, probably early 20s actually, when I asked her when I was born, what was going on, what she remembered, and she said, well, all I know is that I don't know the exact date, but it was around the time where we had kursi set up in one of the rooms in the house. And I said, wait a minute, that means it's close to winter time. My birth certificate, my birthday says it's 19th of August. It doesn't sound right. And she said, well, we got your birth certificate on that day because you could start school a year earlier rather than wait till the following year. And 19th of August is 28 Mordad, and I'll come back to the importance of that day in my life in a bit. This could have been easily me if my parents hadn't moved from the villages that they were. I could have been a little sheep herder, a village kid, and who knows about my future with what was going on at the time in Iran. This could have been easily my dad, and she could have easily been my mom. Just tending to life, the style of villagers that lived around Hamadan. Now I go back to this because I'm going to tell you about the first most important incident in my life that has shaped me. Fast forward, my parents had moved to the city, and we were, after, I guess, when I was born, after 20, 30 years of their move. I don't know the exact, I haven't done the math right now. But when I was 8, 9 years old, something like that, I remember that my parents had quote-unquote adopted an orphan to be our house helper, little boy, maybe just a year younger than myself, and he would have been 2 years younger than my other brother that's closest in age to me. And one day my parents had gone to visit some family members, and we picked on this kid, and he was an orphan boy. I found out later on that my parents were trying to help. And to this day, I get really emotional talking about it. But anyways, we picked on this kid. My parents came home, and when they found out what we'd done, we actually told them that we were bossing this kid around. And my mom looked at us like she was really disappointed. My dad the same, except my dad slapped us a couple of times in front of that kid on purpose. And it wasn't anything like a shock of getting slapped or whatever. It was the first time in my life that I felt like God, Creator, whatever you want to call it, tapped me on the shoulder and said, what you did is not right. And that really changed my life. I just, ever since then, every time I look back and every time I think of that moment, I'm so ashamed. But I think that's turned me into a better person, because ever since then, I won't do anything like that to anybody. So you say, that just came out of nowhere. No, I figure I'm going to just tell you my life, and I don't want anybody else to cook up stories and say anything that's not right. But there you have it. And this is not rehearsed. Just having my early morning coffee and decided this is a good time to share it. Since we are on a project, or actually I'm on a project and you're just learning.